What? What? Hello guys, welcome back to New Who HQ. I am Matt and I'm still getting over what's just happened. I'm filming this about half an hour after it's aired and I managed to think about it, have a good think, just like bring in exactly what's happened. This is my review of the third of the 60th anniversary specials, The Giggle. Before I do begin, if you can hear music or just people banging around and doing all sorts, then I am a university student who lives in halls and it's a Saturday night, so need I say more. The Giggle is good. It's very good. I like it. I think a lot has happened where a lot of sort of big things have happened which changes the methodology of Doctor Who, but in terms of the actual story with the toy maker, I cannot praise Neil Patrick Harris enough for his performance. Excuse me. That's my fault for not muting my phone. Neil Patrick Harris in this is truly fantastic. Now I'm not going to explain to you what happened because it's a review, so I'm sure you would have seen it, and if you haven't then spoilers, then click off this video, but you know obviously what happened. His performance was sublime. His very annoyingly good German accent was fantastic. He's destroying the human race. I think it's great, and he poses a real threat to the Doctor. It's great, but there's a lot of things I want to talk about because I'm not so sure about some things. Firstly, it wouldn't be a Doctor Who anniversary special without having some form of cameos. And these weren't like proper cameos, but they were mentions and cameos in puppet form. We had Amy, we had Clara, we had Bill, all coming back as puppets where Donna had explained to her why they died, how they died, and the Doctor was backing up saying no, they didn't die. You know, I thought that was really, really good. Just the whole atmosphere, the whole entire vibe of this creepy toy maker and his games. This whole episode is just a game to him, and we get that with some of the locations used, the sets, you know, the props in the shop, everything. It fits it so well. And I will move away from Neil Patrick Harris. I'm doing a review! And yes, before we move away from Neil Patrick Harris, I do want to point out the song, the dance. It's just iconic, isn't it? It's up there with John Sims' dance as the Master when he's destroying the world, and when Sacha Dhawan basically turns into Rasputin and does a dance in front of the Dancing Sidemen. It's up there. It's fantastic. I actually quite like that there wasn't the Master. It's always the Master that seems to be the main sort of human form sort of villain that we get, but to have a toy maker, he brings something different. He brings different sort of, you know, consequences, and you know, the bits where UNIT trying to shoot him and it turns into flowers, and you know, I just love how it is very, very goofy, but he's serious because, you know, them two soldiers turned to balls and they just died like that, and you know, there's that serious note where Doctor says, I'm so sorry they died, while he's singing and dancing all around, dancing everyone, throwing them into walls. It's classic Doctor Who. It's a classic sort of thing which reminded me like the John Sim, but turned it up a ramp, and I thought it fitted. And Russell's normally very, very good at keeping that goofy side and making it stupidly goofy, but then straight away going back to no, he is still very much a threat, we need to beat him. It doesn't sort of ruin him, sort of make him less serious with what he's trying to accomplish. That was all great. Another thing, the one who waits, that was put out there. Who was that? Who was the person with the red nail varnish which got the golden thing at the end? I've heard maybe Jinx Monsoon. Some people have said Lucy Saxon. It's not true. Kate Leppard-Stewart though, I don't know what she was wearing. Maybe she could have been the one to pick it up. I don't know, I'm sure we'll find that out. The big thing I want to talk about is the bi-regeneration. Basically, Ncuti Gatwa grew out of David Tennant. He was inside of him. Lucky him. But he was inside of him there, and then he managed to grow out. How do I feel about this? Because this is massive. This is absolutely massive. We've never had a bioregeneration before. This could lead to so much could happen with this, because David Tennant is still around. I'll speak about more deeply what I feel about bioregeneration in a minute. Carrying on with the story, I liked how it ended for Tennant. He found his family, you know, calling Donna his family and having everyone around him. I thought it was great. I thought that was a missed opportunity to maybe bring someone back, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring her up, Martha Jones. It was a waste to not bring her into this. With UNIT, with her past of UNIT, with her being a soldier, it seemed very, very likely that she would come back. and maybe should have been at that dinner table at the end as one of the old friends. It's a shame. But of course, we'll talk about the bi-regeneration and what I think about it, but the new Doctor, he's pretty good, isn't he? He's pretty good. Ncuti Gatwa, I loved him in Sex Education, and he brings that same sort of mad vibe energy which works for the Doctor, and he was in his pants the whole time as well. Honestly thought it worked. He added to that goofy side, which, well, no, not goofy, more silly, but great silly, fantastic silly. Really, really liked the vibe of him, and obviously we didn't get to see much of him, but seeing him and Tennant interact, I did say, in 5 people I want back, I want Ncuti Gatwa. Technically I didn't know there was going to be a bi-regeneration, but I said I wanted to interact with Tennant, that was my main aim, and he has. Nobody else on my list came back, but he did. I loved that he was comforting Tennant. You sort of see it's like an old Doctor and a new Doctor, even though Ncuti's older, but is he though? See, this is the thing, I'm a little bit confused here. I don't know if this has been confirmed, this probably will be talked about, so I'm sorry if I get this wrong, but I don't know what this means for Doctor Who. Does this now mean that Ncuti Gatwa is the first Doctor? Because they're the same people, but they're two different people. Does this make sense? Does this mean now that Ncuti Gatwa's the first Doctor? I mean, it's already going to be Series 1, his first series, so let's just completely and utterly, you know, revamp everything and he can be the first Doctor. I hope that doesn't happen. How do I feel about it though? I mean, I love David Tennant, he's my favourite Doctor, so the chance that he got his happy ending, I mean, but he doesn't like endings, and I felt like this didn't really feel like an ending. This felt like he could come back, and maybe this is a plan. I'm not gonna lie to you, the main theory and the main thing I'm thinking here is that this is the most open, this is the most clear pathway to set up a spin-off for David Tennant, you know, because him regenerating into Ncuti, you're gonna have to do all sorts timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly wise to bring Tennant back for a series. But now he's his own person. To bring him back, he's got his own. I love Doctor Who, but sometimes the way they just snap your fingers, or in this case, bang a TARDIS and then you suddenly bang out another one. Really? Is that possible? It felt a little bit too easy, but maybe I'm just being picky. Donna is still around. I thought Donna was going to die after basically she was set up to die in the first 2, so I thought, right, this is the time now she's going to die, but she didn't. It was just so crazy, and if he comes back for a spin-off, I do worry that it will take the attention off Ncuti. Obviously, if you have their series, if they ever come back for a season, I'm just saying if nothing's been confirmed, but if it ever did, then you could have them not at the same time, but have them at different parts of the year. That's absolutely fine, but it would still be like, oh, you know, I didn't enjoy this season of Ncuti, or we finished Ncuti, now we can focus on Tennant and everyone forgets about Ncuti. That's what I worry about. Bonnie Langford coming back, that was great. Obviously, I didn't know her from Classic Who. I didn't watch her, but obviously she was in Power of the Doctor with Jodie in her finale, so that was nice to see her again. And also, I've seen bits of her in Classic Who, so that's always really nice to bring someone back. And overall, it was very, very solid. I really enjoyed it. There's probably so much I missed out on. My overall thoughts, I really do like it, but let me know what you think about this. I really hope the bi-regeneration is explained a little bit more, because I don't quite understand it. But this is very, very different. And this is going to cause a massive divide between the fan base, I'm sure, because the fan base get divided over many things, but this is really going to be an interesting one. So I'll be interested to see what other people think. But if you are new, please do subscribe, give this video a like. More videos will be coming out about the Christmas special and Series 14 in the coming days and weeks, so watch out for that. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.